Okay, so it's been a couple of days since Jelena Ostapenko went off on Taylor Townsend after Taylor Townsend beat her in the U.S. Open. Jelena Ostapenko made a post in response to what people are saying about her, right? Ostapenko is claiming that Taylor Townsend didn't do this or that. I would say at this point, anyone who plays Ostapenko, if they feel like it, as long as it is not breaking the rules and it's comfortable for you, if you get a net cord, don't say sorry. Don't apologize. This will remind Ostapenko of the horrible outcome against Taylor Townsend. It's going to mess with her mind, right? Make sure you do not say sorry. That's one of the things that Ostapenko is claiming that she's upset with Taylor Townsend about. Now, we know tennis is a physical game, right? You have to be fit, you have to have skills, and you need to be mentally strong throughout the game so that something won't throw your game off. Something that happens in a game, it shouldn't throw your whole game off, right? You should be able to recover mentally and march on playing the game as effectively as possible. So if you're playing Ostapenko and you want to just kind of mentally get to her, if you hit a net cord, don't say that you're sorry. And this will remind her of her reasoning and logic concerning her loss to Taylor Townsend, right? If you want to warm up a little bit differently, say you don't want to warm up at the baseline, but you rather warm up at the net, and you feel comfortable doing that, switching up things, do that if you're playing Ostapenko. Switch it up, right? This will remind her mentally of what she claims to have been a problem with Taylor Townsend, right? That Taylor Townsend warmed up at the net instead of being at the baseline while they warmed up prior to game starting, right? So if you're comfortable with it and you're playing her out there on the professional tour, right? Just do things a little bit differently. As long as you're not breaking the rules, right? And this could, remind her again of this horrible outcome, the controversy, the messagings, texts, and posts against her. And this could cause her to have like a mental lapse with her game, right? It is what it is. Tennis is physical, being fit to play, having the skills, and being mentally strong. And if you can wear your opponent out mentally, why not? As long as it's in the rules. Specifically if you're playing Ostapenko. Social nurse here. Taylor Townsend, the U.S. tennis player, is in the fourth round of the U.S. Open, right? And that match hasn't occurred at the time of this recording. Let's wish her luck. I hope she goes on and on and on, makes it to the final, and does well. Jelena Ostapenko, the tennis player that caused controversy, right? That lady is a mess. My research shows me that she has kind of like a history of ugly disposition. And Taylor Townsend won against Ostapenko recently, even before this win at the U.S. Open. So she beat this lady, right? And Ostapenko is such a sore loser, low vibrational, poor sportsmanship, that she was truly angry and upset about that loss. Now, she said that Taylor Townsend had no culture and was uneducated. And, you know, I like many of you, I like the way that Taylor Townsend handled the situation. I actually watched a lip reader channel, and, you know, she did a good job, in my opinion, with reading those lips, because as she said what Jelena was saying, Jelena Ostapenko, it met the movement. So in that conversation, it appears that Jelena Ostapenko said you're uneducated more than once, right? You know, at the press conference, all of you know what Taylor Townsend was. You know, she did not. She said that you can take the undertone, ask her about those statements and the undertone. And she also acknowledged that, you know, Taylor Townsend, is aware of the fact that that is propaganda spread it about ethnically Black Americans, right? That has come out of the U.S. across the globe. You can be sitting in a college class, the same college classroom, with someone making much better grades than they are. And if you get into a little dispute for some reason, that's going to come out their mouth. You're uneducated, right? The South Africans over there on TikTok, they like to tell people, ethnically Black Americans, that we're uneducated with no culture. It's really nuts. And some of these people that like to spew this, it rolls off their tongue really easily. And I think many of us, like Taylor Townsend, that is not something that we let eat us up, right? We can let that roll off our shoulders. We might respond, or we might not, or we might not even consider it as something to be down about, right? It just kind of is what it is. But, you know, Ostapenko is a very sore loser with a very nasty disposition at this point. Thanks for stopping by, Social Nurse.